My name is Rachel, and this is my story. It began during a summer that was far too quiet. My husband, David, was working long hours, traveling constantly for his company. Nights grew lonely, dinners grew colder, and conversations turned into quick phone calls about bills and schedules rather than love and connection. Our house felt empty, even when it was full. That's when Ethan came into the picture. He wasn't a stranger. In fact, he was Family David's son from his first marriage. Ethan had just turned 21, full of restless energy, caught somewhere between being a boy and becoming a man. He came to stay with us for a few weeks while he sorted out college plans and tried to figure out what direction life was pulling him toward. At first, it was harmless. We talked over late night snacks in the kitchen, laughed at movies we both loved, and sometimes went jogging together in the mornings. I never saw the danger. I never thought a single laugh, a single glance, could unravel my entire life. But I was wrong. One night, everything changed. I was sitting in the living room, curled up with a glass of wine. David had once again called to say he'd be staying overnight at some hotel for work. Ethan came downstairs, barefoot, hair messy from the shower, wearing just a simple t-shirt and sweats. He looked casual, but something about his presence that night felt different. He sat across from me, his eyes holding mine longer than usual. "You look lonely," he said softly, almost in a whisper. I laughed it off, but my chest tightened. "I'm fine," I replied. "Just tired, I guess." But he didn't look away. His gaze lingered, and for the first time, I realized how much attention he had been giving me. The way he listened when I spoke. The way he noticed little things like the books I read, the music I played while cooking, even the perfume I wore. The silence stretched between us, heavy, charged. Then he said it words that should never have been spoken. "I don't think David deserves you." My breath caught in my throat. "Ethan, don't," I warned, but part of me didn't want him to stop. He leaned forward, his voice trembling now. "I've seen the way he treats you. You deserve more than this. More than being alone every night." I should have ended it. I should have stood up, walked away, reminded him and myself of the lines that could never be crossed. But instead, I stayed frozen, staring into his eyes, hearing the ache in his voice, feeling the pull of something I had buried deep for far too long. That night turned into hours of talking, of confessions whispered in the dark. He told me about his doubts, his fears, how he always felt like he never measured up. I told him about my loneliness, about the emptiness creeping into my marriage. Somewhere in between those words, walls crumbled, and we leaned into each other in a way we never should have. When his hand brushed against mine, I didn't pull away. When he whispered my name with a softness that made my heart race, I didn't stop him. And when his lips finally touched mine, I let them. It was wrong. Every part of me knew it was wrong, but at that moment, nothing else mattered. Not the vows, not the consequences, not the storm that would inevitably follow. All that mattered was the way he held me, as though I was the only person in the world who could make his heart race. But the thing about Forbidden's moments is they don't end when the night does. The next morning, reality hit us both. The air was heavy with guilt, with the unspoken question of what came next. I tried to avoid him, to create distance, to convince myself that it was just one mistake. But Ethan still wanted more. He would find excuses to be near me, brushing past me in the kitchen, sitting too close on the couch, slipping notes into my hand when David wasn't around. His eyes carried a hunger that scared me because it mirrored my own. Whatever it was that happened between us, it wasn't over. And deep down, I knew. I didn't want it to be. Every time I tried to draw a line, he crossed it with words that melted me. "Don't you feel alive when we're together?" He asked once, his voice low and desperate, and I did. I felt alive in a way I hadn't in years. It wasn't love, not in the traditional sense. It was need. It was desire. It was two souls clinging to each other in a moment of weakness. And though I knew it would destroy everything if it came to light, I couldn't deny the truth. I craved it as much as he did. Looking back now, I know the damage is done. Secrets don't stay hidden forever, and every stolen glance, every whispered word, every forbidden moment is another thread unraveling the life I once thought was secure. Maybe one day the truth will come out. Maybe one day I'll have to face the cost of that night, of those choices. But until then, all I can say is this: he still wanted more. And so did I, and in that moment, whatever it was didn't matter then.